Alright, what's up guys, Choco Sir here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 208, and for this week we have another Mana Tree Revival Seed for this week. Alright, so it is currently Sunday as I am recording this video. You guys won't see this until Friday when it gets uploaded. So yeah, we have 13 flags for this weekly seed, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. Starting off, we have a random starting character. We have restrictive logic as always. We also have randomized boss elements. Hints are disabled for this seed as well, so we won't have access to them. We also have hard complexity in play. So the progression items could be behind chains, or they could be in harder to reach locations. So we do have to keep that in mind as we go through the seed. We also have swapped bosses in play for this run as well. High chest drops and many chest traps. It is as it says. Random enemy spawns. It is what it says. We can meet any enemy in any area of the game. We also have we also have find one character at level 1. So this means this is going to be a 2-character seed. We're going to start off with 1, and there's going to be a second character in the seed, and then the third character does not exist. So it could be any 2 of the 3 characters. We also have a 1.0 XP multiplier, which basically means that we won't be getting as much experience as we normally do. A 3.0 gold multiplier, which means enemies will be dropping more gold than usual. So basically less experience, more gold. And finally, we have 7 seeds required to complete the run. So basically 7 seeds required. We have hard complexity in play as well, so some of those seeds could be in obscure locations. We also have only 2 characters, up to 2 characters to work with this seed. Randomized boss elements is also a thing. Hints disable is also a thing. So this seed could be pretty interesting. We'll see. Alright, so let's see. Looks like we have a boy start. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so starting off with the boy. So this basically means we have either a boy plus the girl seed, boy plus girl seed, or a boy plus sprite seed. And as I mentioned, we will not have access to all 3 characters. So depending on who the other character actually is, may change the outcome of this seed. And it also may change how we run this seed too. Alright, Javelin start. Okay, Luna Strength. It's actually really nice. We got a strength weapon on the first weapon. Okay. So we're gonna go right into our freebies here, as we usually do. Alright, boom up there. There are no hints. Checking the shop. Golden Vest Power Wrist is actually nice. Nah, I'm just gonna move on. I was thinking about popping some enemies in Rabbi Forest real quick, but we're not gonna do that. Alright, so from here, we are gonna go to Moogle Village. And get this to level 1 real quick. There we go. We do have many chest traps enabled, so opening chests might not be a smart idea. Alright, Whip Orb and Sword Orb. Okay. Okay, so since this is a 2-character seed, I'm going to prioritize looking at crystal orbs because looking at crystal orbs can give us information as to who the other character is. Okay, alright, Ivy's overalls, ruby vest in there. Ivy amulet's good to see there. Ooh, alright, 1600 gold is nice to see. Alright, let's see. Matango, we're gonna go into Santa's house here. Pretty much gonna run a standard route here for our freebies. Alright, sort of. Okay, Ice Palace, and then we'll go Ice Palace into Lighthouse. I do want to smack this guy because he might try to slow me, and we can't have that. Alright, another boom orb. Getting orbs, but for other weapons. 2 sword orbs, 2 boomerang orbs so far. Since this is hard complexity, I don't expect too much from freebies right now. I mean, you never know because it's rando, but I don't expect a bunch of progression items or a bunch of seeds maybe from these free checks. Because like I said, these progression items could be harder to get to in general. But hard complexity usually means that free checks aren't going to have too many progression items. Usually, I mean, sometimes that's not the case. But we're gonna go ahead and check them anyway because, you know, they may have orbs, could have money. You never know what they could have on them. Alright, level up there. Thinking about checking the Tasnica shop. Nah, I'm good. I mean, we already saw Golden Vest. We saw Power Wisdom Potos. We saw Ruby Vest. Ivy Amulet. What else did we see? I think we saw, what was it? Fancy Overalls and Matango as well. So really the only thing I'm looking for right now is like a coon cap or tiger cap maybe. Okay, I'm actually going to dip into Fire Palace here. And the only reason why I'm going here now is to look at the orb. I'm not concerned about what element it is. Well, I am concerned about what element it is because it may help me figure out who the other character is. Okay, Sylphid. That doesn't tell me much, honestly. Okay, so Sylphid there. We can check Moon Palace Orb as well. The 2 elementals I'm most most concerned about here are either Shade or Lumina. Because if we see one of those, then we automatically know who the other character is. Ooh, that's a Sofa Orb too. Interesting. Okay. So Sofa from Moon Palace. Okay. You know, what I also could do is go to Grand Palace and look at the first two orb rooms. I could do that as well, just for information. Okay, headgear, coon cap. Take this for now. We know where better armor is. We know where better rings are. Actually, you know what? I might just do that. I know it's something I usually don't do, but we're just going down here for the information. Because information on this rando is extremely powerful. And then that'll give me an idea of who else is in the seed. Obviously, we can't get to the chest because we don't have the whip. But like I said, we're only coming in here just for information. Salamando. I'm thinking the other character might be the girl. Yeah. Okay, double Salamando for Grand Palace. Okay, so there's a strong indication that the other character is the girl. Just because of what orbs we've seen so far. We've seen 2 Sylphid orbs and 2 Salamander orbs. That's a very strong indication that the girl is in the seed as our second character. Okay, spiky suit. Okay, chest guards are here. That's good to see. We saw overalls earlier, so I'm not going to pick that up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our freebies from here. Alright, Spear Orb. And the Midge Mallet. Okay, we take that. Yeah, so I'm almost okay, there's the bow. I'm almost convinced that the girl is the other character. I'm almost convinced. Of course, the randomizer may say Psy can throw like a Undini or like a Shade Orb somewhere, which is possible, because you never know. But I don't think it's likely, because usually once you see like double Sylphid, double Salamando, then it is a strong indication that the girl is the other character. All right, 1,200 bucks. Let's see. I'm trying to think, what am I doing after the freebies run? I think I'm just going to go Pandora Ruins, most likely. It is hard complexity though. All right, Spear Orb. We check the back chest here. We also need to keep an eye out for trap flowers and owls, because you guys know what they do. You've seen enough of my videos, you know what those guys do, and you know what they're capable of. Thankfully, we haven't run into either of those yet. Alright. Keep in mind, we are on 1.0 XP multipliers, so we can be a bit more lenient about save splitting. And what I mean by that is we don't need to save split as much. Okay, 2,000 bucks in the back chest is not bad, actually. We'll go ahead and take that. And I think that's all we can do, right? Well, I mean, we got Dwarf Village freebies and girl, so I'm going back to early game anywhere. Let me pick up a pair of... Actually, how much money do I have? Because I might just get that Ivy Amulet right now. Yeah, we're good. We'll just do like... We'll do like this. We'll go overalls and Ivy Amulet here. This way we don't have to worry about trap flowers or anything that can knock us unconscious. I'm also thinking about just picking up that power wrist as well. We saw power wrist in Potos, so I'm gonna grab that real quick. And then we're gonna head to Pandora. We're gonna start killing some bosses here. Go ahead and grab some candies and herbs just to have them. Alright, so yeah, it's just as I suspected. We didn't get too much from our freebies. I mean, we got a bunch of money and some orbs. We got the bow and the midge mallet. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop a save here. Speaking of the bow, I want to know what's on it, because it is randomized boss elements. Okay, stone and intelligence. All right. So our two elemental weapons are earth and moon. We have earth in the bow, moon in the javelin. Always good to know what element your weapons are if you're running randomized boss elements. Also, since it's hard complexity, I might hit up other places sooner than usual. But we'll see. Okay, I shouldn't be close to level 2, right? Alright, I'm 7 away. Fun fact, if you're on 1.0 XP multiplier and you're just starting out the seed, it's always going to take 16 enemies to get to level 2. Because every enemy gives 1 XP and you always need 16 XP to get to level 2. Alright, what do we got? Ooh, that's a Dark Lich. Yep. Okay, let's put this on. Looks like he's Moon Element, so we're gonna use our bow here. Oh no, he's Fire Element actually. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going back to this now. Yeah, he's Fire Element for sure. Yeah. Alright, we should be okay though. I mean, he's got Flame Saber on himself, unfortunately. He would do that. Yeah. Fire element bosses are annoying because of Blaze Wall. And there's really nothing we can do about it right now. Got him. Nice. Yeah, it's like I mentioned before. There's always that chance that Dark Lich appears in Pandora Ruins. Thankfully, we had enough damage to actually kill him. But this would be a reset if I had, say, Sprite and I didn't have damage. Alright, Bow Orb, Spear Orb from that. And we hit level 3. Okay. We also haven't seen Tiger Cap. I haven't looked in every shop yet either. Like, I haven't looked in Dwarf, haven't looked in Kaipo, haven't looked in Gold Isle shop, etc., etc. Trying to think. Okay, 1,800 bucks on girl. That's nice. Okay, there's the Dark Seed. The Water Seed. Okay. Whip Orb. 1,400 gold. Wind Seed. And the Gold Key. Wow, 3 seeds in the treasury. That is pretty insane. And we need 7. Alright, so... What options do we have here? I'm thinking we just go... Mantis Hand here. I could save split this. I might as well. Buffy. Yeah. It's actually Vampire, not Buffy. There we go. Hmm. 3 seeds: water seed, wind seed, dark seed. We can turn in the water seed, I suppose, and the wind seed. It is hard complexity, so there could be something behind those seeds. Okay, there's a gnome. Gnome is nice. I can't make use of that right now since I don't have the girl. Um, go dwarf village here. We can also forge this bow. We do have 2 orbs for it. So maybe we might get lucky and this the level 3 bow might be better than the javelin we have. Maybe. Yeah, there's that. Alright, Phoenix Bow is con and stone. Alright, we're gonna keep going. Velen. Crit, Agile, and Ice. Alright, we take that. Alright, I'm gonna check the shop for Tiger Caps real quick. Ooh, Circus here though. I mean, I could. I don't need it right this moment though. Honestly, kind of a waste for the boy. Okay, there's the spear. Oh, the Sylphid Orb. Okay, I think I'm convinced now that the other character is the girl. I think I'm convinced. We've already saw 3 Sylphid Orbs, so... Alright, Glove Orb. What about... Ooh, can we force the spear? Yeah, I'm thinking to forge the spear here. Alright, let's see what we get here. Level 2 spears, agility, dryad. Okay. Ceremony and trident is intelligence and stone. Okay, so stone, ice, Luna. Alright. So we do have 3 different elements now. We are going to save split these bosses because we can. We're only level 4 though, but it doesn't really matter if we save split or not here. But who knows how long the seed is going to go. Alright, that is a dark element spring beak. I think we're just going to go with the javelin for this. Okay, so yeah, I'm convinced that the sprite is not in the seed. I'm thoroughly convinced now. Alright, Glove Orb, Sea Hair Tail, nothing. Okay, the Sea Hair Tail we kind of have to keep. We're just going to go straight to Kilroy here. It isn't. Okay. I suppose we can forge the spear one more time. Oh, no level up. Okay. All right, whip orb and jab orb. Yeah, sure. I didn't save, so. I don't think I need to concern myself about int weapons this run. Because one, we don't have Lumina. We don't have the girl. Dragon Strength. Ooh, this is pretty nice. Now I am going to force this Javelin. Because we don't really need it anymore. Alright, Elf Harpoon, Dragon, and Stone. Wow, okay. We got 2 stone weapons, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and start using my spear here since it's definitely the better weapon I have. But yeah, like I was saying, we don't need to look for int weapons on this one because the sprite is not in the seed. Almost certain he's not. And now the real question is, do I turn in these seeds? I think I do, actually. Okay, we just hit level 6, which is fine. Alright, Jab Orb. Okay, so I think my next play is Water Palace into Undini's Cave. We also had the Sea Hare tail as well, so we can turn that in once we get over to Kakara, that is. Okay, these I am going to save split. I'm not sure what level my spear is. I think it's 3. Either 2 or 3. Alright, so we turn in the water seed, we turn in... Well, we do Undini's Cave, and then we can turn in the wind seed, I guess. We'll see what comes out of them. We still don't have a cutting weapon. Like he's wind element. Yep. Let's see, late game areas we can't do much about. We don't have the axe or the whip. Okay, there's Sylphid and an axe orb. Sure, we take that. Alright, we save, we check Undini's Cave here. Snapdragon. Pretty sure he's Dryad element. I'm gonna stick with level 2 here. Oh, let me pop on my Ivy Amulet before he casts Sleep Flower. We don't want to be seeing that mess. Yeah, there it is. Got him. All right, boom orb. Axe orb, nothing. Reset. Okay. That's pretty much everything in early game that we can do right now. Can't do Witch's Castle. We can't do Earth Palace, obviously. I guess we can just turn in the Wind Seed. Oh, let me see what's at Kuiper. We haven't seen this shop yet. Don't walk up. Ooh, okay. Tiger caps are here. Excellent. I do want one. Probably think about getting some armor for the girl wherever she is, because we don't know when we will find her, if we find her. Alright, so let us turn in the Wind Seed and see what we get out of that. I am going to save though. Tiger. Yep. Luna element. I'm gonna try to use this strat here. Okay. Nice. So that's a little cheap strategy you can do with Spiky Tiger and Blue Spike, is if you stand in front of him and force him to bite you. And this also requires you to have enough defense, because if you don't have enough defense, you can't do that strat. But if you do have enough defense, you can get up during your recovery animation and smack him. And if you have a charged weapon, you can charge your weapon. And the more you charge your weapon, alright, sort of, wow, Earthseed, okay. The more you charge your weapon, when you get up during your recovery animation, it will actually deal the damage of that charged attack. So you noticed how my weapon was charged to 3? And it dealt enough damage to kill him at the end. Alright, let's see. We got the Earthseed out of that, but we can't do anything with that, though. The seed is a little annoying right now. Let's turn in the Sea Hairtail and see what we get. Okay. There's our confirmation that the other character is the girl. Alright, so let's see. Lumina there. Chest guard. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick one of these up for the girl once we find her, if we find her. That way I'll have something for her. What's my play here? Is it Empire? Let me see. I honestly don't like this play, what I'm about to do. All right, let's go castle. Let's go castle. The issue is that we don't have a cutting weapon, nor do we have the whip. So until we find one of those, we actually can't do much right now. Okay, hexes. I want to... Nah, we could just keep her right here, I think. I was thinking about changing her element, but I don't need to do that. 3. Excuse me? So right now we need to figure out where our cutting weapon is. We gotta find either a sword or an axe, a whip. We have Sylphid. We have Lumina. Alright, Boom Orb, Bow Orb. Okay. Yeah, there's just not a lot we can check right now without those aforementioned items. Okay, Spirit Shit level 4, that's nice. I'm getting silenced. Yeah. No. Get her, Ken. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Please die. I really don't want to check ruins. What options here? We have... Okay, we can reset out of that. Ruins. Triple Tonpole. Can't do Dark Palace. We can't do Doppelgangers. I suppose we can check Salamander Oven. I need to save though. Checking Triple Tonpole seems like a awful play though. But sometimes, I mean, it is hard complexity, so I guess I have to check it. Let's check Salamander Oven first. We'll check Salamander Oven into Triple Tonpole, see what we get out of that. I don't know. Neck. Oh, brother. Okay, it's little brother though, so it shouldn't be too bad. Nah. As long as he doesn't cast anything annoying. Like Blaze Wall or something. It looks like this snake is non-elemental. There we go. Alright, bow orb. We just gotta find our progression. Alright, 200 bucks. Right now, we just have to figure out what the seed wants us to do. I have an idea, but I don't want to do it because it's an ugly play. But sometimes you have to make ugly plays. Sometimes you just have to do it. Even though it doesn't seem like a good idea to do it, sometimes you just have to. Because there are several things out there that we could use. The axe, for example, the sword, the girl, the whip. Any one of those right now would be very beneficial. Of course, he does that. I'm just gonna herb that. It's faster just to herb that. Alright, so this should be a Snapdragon because we fought one earlier. Yeah. Make sure my IV amulet's on. I think it is. No, it's not. Alright. Two shot. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are not finding anything here. Is it really ruins? I don't want to go to ruins. I really don't. Can't do sunken continent. Alright, I got an idea. It's a semi-ugly play, but sometimes, like I said, you just have to make ugly plays. You just have to. We're gonna save in Kokara. Yeah, we're gonna save. I don't want to do it, but I might have to. We're gonna save. We flame me out. I'm going to Pureland. Yeah, I know, and this is why this is a semi-ugly play, because going to Pureland without a cutting weapon is not the best idea, because we can only do 3 out of the 6 checks right now. But if the randomizer decides to be really cheeky, there may be something here. And that's why I saved, because if there isn't, well, honestly, I really shouldn't save split these because we have to kill these bosses eventually. Let's see. This guy is light element. Yeah. Light element it is. I might do it again. Nope. There's that. Yeah, I want to see if the randomizer's being cheeky here. There's a chance it is. There's also the chest and gold tower. Well, 2 chests and gold tower. We do have the key. Key orb, axe orb. Okay. Oh, brother. Here we go. Moon Element Watermelon. And unfortunately, I can't get above him to stop his spell casting. Okay, he's burned 16 of his MP already though, so... Okay. And you're not getting any magic out of me, buddy. You're wasting your time. Oh, we just gotta hope and pray that it doesn't trigger full heal. The lunar magic. There we go. Oh, we got pretty lucky there. We got pretty lucky there. We didn't want that lunar magic triggering enemy and allied HP recovery. Okay, level 9. Bow orb. Oh my god, of course. The axe is here. Holy crap, this seed. I have to full clear this now. That is diabolical. What the seed just did to us. Vampire. Wow. Fight. Alright, there's that. Alright, at least he's not casting Lucid Berry, which is good. He's dead anyway. No. Putting the axe in the second spot in Pureland is absolutely diabolical. Now, we don't know. Here's what we don't know. We don't know if the sword was available. Okay, but we don't know if the sword is sitting at like Northtown Ruins or something, because it could be. And the axe might not be the only cutting weapon available. But even if the sword only does so much for us, I mean, the sword can get us through Pureland. That's about it. Dragon. Alright, I gotta get him into a better spot here. Nice. Oh, he went to the left. Nah, too early. There we go. And the funny thing here is that the axe is actually complexity 0. Because we can get to it right away from the start of the seed. So this might not even be a high complexity seed. It might not be, but we don't know. Ooh, okay. The Luna Elementon pole. Phase wall. Nope. Exploder. I'm in. There's the blaze wall. I was looking for that. Unfortunate. Jeez. Alright, he's out of MP. Yeah, he's got that dang flame saber on himself. That's why he's got more defense now. There we go. Alright, sword orb and... Okay, there's a seed here. We got 5 seeds. Alright, so that puts Light Palace into play. As far as what we can check. We can full clear Light Palace now. Well, yeah. Unfortunate. Alright. I think I'm gonna have to kill off the left eye first here. Because he's gonna start using Cure Water soon. And we want him casting Revivify and waste his MP. Yeah. Yeah, walls are a little annoying when you're solo. I should get it. Yep. Okay. We just need a little bit of patience here. I mean, obviously we don't have magic to jerk this thing down quickly. There we go. Sometimes you just need a little bit of patience. We can't just go right for the center either because it's going to heal. I'm surprised it didn't heal, but sometimes it'll just cast Cure Water. It'll just spam that Cure Water. All right, Jab Orb, Glove Orb. Swap to this so I can cut through these bushes here. All right, so Pureland is cleared out. And we just got to figure out what we can do here. Now that we have the axe, we have more options available to us. We also have 5 seeds. Let's see. We can full clear Light Palace. We can also go Witch's Castle for a hint. And also go Sunken City. Put back on our spear. Looking at my orbs, we got 4 spear orbs. I think I'm going to keep the spear where it is because it's pretty strong right now. Let's go Gold Isle. I've been sitting on that gold key for a while, and we kind of want to know what's behind it. So let's go ahead and check it. Alright, so Axe was complexity 0. Light Seed was complexity 1. Alright, $1,000. Oh gosh. He's right there. Alright. First of all, let's do this. And we're going to swap to the bow. Yes, the bow. That's fine if you slow me, I don't care. Dead. Yep. Yeah, so unfortunately this is a slower pace seed. For several reasons. One, we don't have the sprite available, and 2, we don't know where the girl is, so we have to do everything solo, which automatically takes more time. Alright, Whip Orb. Neck. Is this Big Brother? It is. Okay. Nice. Don't be doing that, dude. Thankfully, he doesn't heal for much. Okay, our defense is down. That's why we're taking damage all of a sudden. Wow. We got a water moccasin here, pretty much. Water element snake. Straight out the Amazon. Got him. There we go. Alright, snack down. We get a bow orb. Still gotta find 2 more seeds, too. Alright, we're turning in the light seed now for... Wow. The girl is here. And the fire seed. This seed is so cheeky. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to get some stuff for her. And she came with the whip, too. Oh my gosh. You can have this bow, actually. I have no words right now. I mean, a hard complexity is gonna do, you know, hard complexity things. Grab this. We can grab this, sure, for her. Actually, I would rather put this on the boy. That way I won't have to worry about defense. 7 seeds required. We have 6. Pureland is cleared out. Is any good? Beast strength confused. Sure, we take that. What's my next play here? Okay, I suppose we can... full clear Dark Palace, maybe. We could turn in the Dark Seed, I guess. There is a world where I level my Lumina up to like level 4, but I don't think it's necessary at this point because we're almost done, honestly. Once we find 1 more seed, we're done. Because the girl came so late in the seed, it's ridiculous. Not worth leveling up her magic at this point. I am, however, going to do this. Yeah. Probably should have saved before coming in here, honestly. But it's okay. I think we'll be alright. Report. Yeah, this seed is pretty ugly, actually, if you think about it. Yeah, we got silenced. I think we did. Did we get silenced? Yeah, we did. I don't know if her shot hit or not. Oh, don't start that. Okay. Alright, so we are a moon seed or a giant seed away from finishing this run. Just gotta find either seed. Doesn't matter. Can we go Fire Palace here? I don't think it's... Well, we might not be able to get through it. We don't have Salamander. Alright, Glove Orb, Boom Orb. Okay. Alright, so nothing there. Honestly, I think my next play should probably be to... check Witch's Castle, maybe. Yeah, let's go Witch's Castle. We're gonna go from the other side, though. If there's nothing here, at the very least, we can get a hint. Maybe. I mean, we have done a decent amount of checks so far. And we are level 12. I'm also going to save split too, just in case there's nothing here. Alright, let's see what we can learn from the Nessa Berry, if anything. Okay, she just hit level 7. Prim is pretty much irrelevant at this point as far as helping during these fights anyway. Alright, what do we got? Dryas Seed behind a Sylphid Orb. Okay. Alright, so behind the Sylphid Orb, it could be in a chest in Fire Palace. Tiger. That's unfortunate. We don't care about your wall. I'm not casting magic on you. I'm gonna try to do the same strat we did before, if I can, but he's not gonna let us this time around. Oh, we're doing this, huh? We're doing this, huh? There we go. Dang, controller disconnected there. Don't know what happened. That's okay. Alright, so Dryad Seed behind a Sylphid Orb. Wonder. Could be Earth Palace. We don't... Oh, we do have the Earth Seed. It could be there. Alright, $1,000. And, okay, this Dryad. Might as well go ahead and keep it at this point. Alright, let's think. Sylphid Orb. Let's try Fire Palace. I think the worst case scenario here is if the Dryad Seed is at the Moon Palace, but we don't have the Moon Seed. We turn that in. I think that's the worst case scenario here. Let's try Fire Palace. I have to save her MP just in case I need Lumina. Okay, we know this first orb is Sylphid. Okay. Maybe it's in this first chest. Nope, that's not a seed, that's Undini. We don't need Undini at this point. Okay, that's a Lumina orb. I don't think it's here. I mean, it could be. There's the boomerang. $1,000. Alright, so if the third orb is not a Sylphid orb, then I think I just leave. And then again, the Moon Seed could be on the Fire Seed pedestal for all we know. And I would be surprised if it is. So now that I say that, I might as well check it. If I can. Because we still don't have Salamander. Sylphid. Okay, so now I do have to check this. And now I definitely have to check this. I don't want to, but I have to. For your face. There we go. Oh my god, what does the seed want from me? Does it want me to find the Moon Seed? We might have to go Earth Palace. Yeah, we might have to go Earth Palace. Alright, no seed. Alright, so yeah, I'm thinking Earth Palace might be the play here. Unless the orb in Flammy Cave is a Sylphid orb, which we don't know. I'm not going to check right now. We're going to go Earth Palace first, though. Okay. Right, we drop a save. I'm scared that the Dryad Seed is on the Moon Seed pedestal. I think that's what I'm most worried about. So let's just hope that it's at the Earth Palace. Yeah, this seed has been kind of hellish to route out. But I will go through that in my synopsis at the end of the run. Anti-Sand. Yep. I'm surprised it didn't hit. There we go. I'm scared that I need the Moon Seed to get the Dryad Seed, which I won't be surprised because it's hard complexity. There it is. Okay, Dryad Seed. Oh, wow. All right. I mean, Luna, I love you, but you were in like the worst spot. Okay, so we found our Dryad Seed, so that's it for this one. I figured I might as well check the Earth Seed pedestal because it was blocked by a Sylphid Orb. So we don't know where the Moon Seed is. Maybe it could have been in the Northtown Ruins. I don't know. Alright, so that's it for this run, finally. Alright, so 1:21:56 is our time. That is absolutely... I can't say that's a horrible time, because knowing now what the seed wanted you to do, I mean, I'm honestly expecting times to be like over an hour and a half here, honestly, if you want to be real about it. But the seed wanted you to do something that almost no runner is going to do unless they have like 5,000 IQ. And even then, it doesn't make too much sense to do it. But the seed wanted you to go to Pureland to get the axe from the Snow Dragon spot, and then continue forward with said axe to get the light seed, which was blocking the girl, the fire seed, and the whip. Was the whip required? Yes, because the whip led us to the Dryad Seed. Again, we don't know where the Moon Seed is. It could have been Northtown Ruins. It could have been, Sunken City or something like that. I'm almost positive at this point that the Moon Seed was axe locked. I'm almost positive. I'm not saying for sure that it is, because like I said, it could be sitting on like Doom's Wall or Vampire. It also could have been, I think Honestly, I think that was the only place that we could have checked that wasn't axe locked, because everything else is either axe locked or whip locked or both. Um, and also like blocked by Sylphid or something like that, which means we needed the girl. Oh, there's Gold Tower, right? There's Gold Tower. That's not axe locked, but we went to Gold Tower. That's where we found the girl anyway. But honestly, routing this seed is annoying. Once you figure out, okay, I'm not finding anything useful. I can't find my progression, and the game eventually makes you realize that, oh, my progression is actually in Pureland, but I don't have a cutting weapon. But the thing is, you don't know that the axe is your progression, and the axe usually is your progression. So, I mean, let's face it, no one, like I said earlier, no one is going to go to Pureland without a cutting weapon and do those 3 checks. Unless the seed forces you to, which was the case here. The seed forced you to do those 3 checks without a cutting weapon. And that's why I figured, you know what? I'm not finding anything. I'm finding a bunch of orbs. I'm finding a bunch of nothing. Let's just see if the seed is going to be cheeky and put our progression in Pureland, and that's what it did. That's exactly what it did. Because it could have been the axe, it could have been the sword, it could have been the girl with said axe. It could have been the whip. Honestly, I think the whip would have been the worst, because then that puts places like Dark Palace, not Dark Palace, I'm sorry, False Gigas, Flammy Cave, not doppelgangers. What else is whip locked but not axe locked? The Flammy Cave, False Gigas, Fire Palace. Places like that would have been in logic at that point, but thankfully it was the axe. So after finding the axe, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Let's just full kill Pureland. We're already here. We're already 2 bosses down. We might as well just finish it out. Might as well. I really didn't care what we found there after that. We found the light seed. I think that's the only thing we found in Pureland other than the axe. I think we found like a bunch of orbs and whatnot, but the light seed ended up being required. Well, I can't really say that because we don't know where the moon seed is. So we really don't know where that moon seed is. So I can't say if the girl was required this run without knowing where that moon seed was. And like I said earlier, the moon seed could have been in like Complexity 0, like Northtown Ruins. It could have been on like Doom's Wall or Vampire. It could have been in one of the 2 chests in Gold Tower. So without knowing where that moon seed is, I can't really determine if the girl was required. But I want to say there's a very high chance that she was. That's what I'm going to say. There's a very high chance that she was required. If only because she had the whip. I mean, she had everything. She had the whip. We had Sylphid. And we really didn't need Lumina, but Lumina was just there, I guess. But yeah, we don't really know if she was hard required. There's a high chance that she is. But I'm honestly expecting times to be between like an hour and 15, maybe an hour 10 to over an hour and a half, possibly 2 hours. I mean, it depends on how the other runners route this seed. And this is not an easy seed to route, because The absolute best play to make would be to go to Pureland. Plain and simple. But unless you have 5,000 IQ, no one's going to go to Pureland without a cutting weapon. It's just impractical, and it doesn't make too much sense unless you exhaust pretty much every other check. You don't have the whip, you don't have the axe, you don't have any magic, and that was our case. We didn't have any of that. So there's not much you can check when you don't have those specific items. When you don't have an axe or a sword or a whip or a sprite, a girl with magic. If you don't have any of that, so there's actually not many checks you can make. I mean, that's past early game anyway. Early game you can do most of early game without the axe or the whip. But once you clear those out, once you clear out your freebies, and you clear out several checks in mid game, and there's not much you can do. You know, late game is pretty inaccessible without an axe or a whip or both. In the case of Dark Palace, you need both for that place. Doppelgangers, you need both for that. So late game is extremely limited in what you can check. Oh, there was also Sunken Continent bosses we could have checked too. Hydra, not Hydra, Hexes rather, and Watermelon. We could have checked those. Those would have been complexity 0 too. Also, now that I mentioned that, the Moon Seed could have been there as well. So, yeah, it's an ugly route. The seed wanted you to go to Pureland to get the axe, and then get the light seed. So, anywho, 121.56 is our time. What else can I say about the seed? It's a pretty troll seed if you ask me. A pretty trolly seed. 3 seeds being in the treasury was pretty nice. Kind of made you think, oh, this might be a shorter seed. Maybe we might find the girl down the line somewhere. We have what? Lumina. We have Sylphid. So we have good weapons. The seed also gave you a lot of money as well during freebies, which you can use to set up the boy pretty nicely. So bosses weren't too big of a deal on the seed. We did run into a couple of Luna bosses, a couple of Dryad bosses, but I also think this is one of those seeds where the Ivy Amulet, buying the Ivy Amulet is a really good investment this seed, because the girl comes in so late, and depending on everything else that you checked, she's pretty much a non-factor, almost a non-factor, because she comes in so late. So 90% of this seed you're running solo, and there's nothing you can do about it. We already know there's no sprite in the seed, and the girl comes in super late. So that's why I say Ivy Amulet is a really good purchase. Not to mention it's also randomized boss elements and random enemy spawns. So yeah, Ivy Amulet is a very good purchase on a seed such as this one. You also had access to stuff like Power Wrist. You had access to good mid-game armor. Fancy overalls were available. Golden Vest was available. Raccoon Cap, Tiger Cap, Steel Cap. All that stuff was available for purchase, and the seed gave you plenty of money to get that stuff. So honestly, bosses shouldn't be an issue this run. They really shouldn't. Mainly the main thing you have to focus on this seed is the routing, and when you go to Pureland, depending on when the runner goes to Pureland, is most likely going to determine their overall time. Because, and I can definitely see this happening, because if the person goes to Pureland, if the person goes, checks their freebies, checks all of early game, or as much of early game as they can, and they check literally everything else before going to Pureland, which is very reasonable, because like I said earlier, there's really no reason of going to Pureland without a cutting weapon unless you have to, then that's definitely going to be a factor in everyone's times on this one. Yeah, 121.56. Honestly, I'm not even going to say that's a bad time. We did go to Pureland at a pretty decent time. I think we left just Northtown Ruins and Sunken Continent bosses left on the table. But I mean, it's like pick your poison, you know. When you do Northtown Ruins, and this is why sometimes I sometimes clear out Northtown Ruins bosses while I'm there, because I don't want to have to come back, you know. And that's probably what I should have did, because who knows if the Moon Seed was back there or not? It might be, for all we know. And if it was, then we could have probably ended this one sooner, but who knows. All right, anyway, we're going to go ahead and put our time into the Discord here and see where we are. So we got 121.56. Yeah. All right, so 3 others have completed it so far. Wow, first has a 101.58. Okay, so first place must have had 500 IQ. I'm assuming that the first place runner went to Pureland really early. They had to have. They had to have to get that sort of a time, because we got 121.56, so we're currently in second place. Third with a 123.23, and fourth so far is a 130.36. Yeah, those are typical times for a seed like this. Yeah, but 101.58. I'm assuming they went to Pureland early, which, like I said earlier, 500 IQ play. That's what the seed wanted you to do. I can't see it as being a practical play, but if you make that sort of play, and honestly, I wasn't really thinking about it, but I mean, yeah, Rando's gonna Rando. Sometimes the seed just does cheeky stuff like that. But anywho, that was the seed of the week, number 208. I will see you guys next time.